Hello, my name is Mitch and I draw Blood Force. And this is Blood Force. Or it will be, eventually. This is a little Blood Force. This is page... What the hell page is this? Page 18. And this is a page... Oh, I'm going to try and cut out those tongue clicks. I keep hearing them in the commentaries. They bug me. I don't like them. So this is page 18. And this is a page I've been looking forward to a little bit. This is one of the two-page spreads. There's a couple in this issue. But this is one of the two-page spreads that kicks off the action. So, at the end of the last page, we had Hawkstab kind of turning towards us, the reader, and looking off camera. This is Blood Force getting jumped and action beginning. And I'm going to completely fuck up this first panel here. I had debated whether or not to put this in, to keep this in here. Yeah, because with these big panels, you really kind of do have to choreograph them. And I kind of thought I could wing it, I think. Like, I thought this was this was one I know fairly well in my head. I probably don't need an actual layout. And it's like, come on, man. That's a great way to come up with a mediocre product, which is what this ends up being, really. But the first draft, anyway. So yeah, this is just going to be a big glory shot of Hawkstab, Popo, and Hard to start with. And the second half of the double-page spread is bottom of the page, the Clerg, the evil aliens, then big shot of shock block from behind and Fireburn swooping in. So theoretically, Hawkstab, Hard, and Popo here should be looking at the Clerg. They should be looking basically into the page here. And I'm gonna try and wing that. Yeah, like it's like a bird or worm's eye view. 3/4 view of the head. So I'm going to try and wing that. I'm sure that'll work out fine. And so here we've got, this is going to be Hawkstab getting into, these are going to be just, we need close-ups of guys doing action things. So this one we get Hawkstab slicing up a Clerg. Oh no, that's way too small. Yeah, see, I know what I was trying to do here. I was trying to, make it visible. See, but that's not what you need for these necessarily. You can do that for some, but this kind of stuff, you want some close-ups. These are the money shots. You don't want to back the camera off. So I'll give another try. I think. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, here we go. There's an arm. Okay. Oh, and I'm faking in the Clerg guy. He's slicing up just past him. And yeah, there's a decent Hawkstab pose. He's a little bit skinny. Got a little bit of that big head syndrome going on, but it's pretty good. Yeah, and we're gonna show off that Hawkstab ass. We saw America's ass in Endgame. This one is not quite good enough for the nationals, but yeah, state champion, sure. This is Connecticut's ass, or will be. And we're gonna go right in on penciling Hard, and we have a good reason. I think this one is a good pose for him, and I'm getting more confident with these torsos, these big shots. Getting a bit more consistent. And we really want to emphasize all the lots of flexing. Lots of veins in this one. Everyone's juiced up. We're going to up the intensity. We're going to Steve Platt this shit. I guess it's Stephen Platt. I don't think anybody ever called him Steve. I don't feel familiar enough with him to really do that. Yeah, that's a great hard torso. It looks fantastic. And I'm not using any of this. Because none of these guys are going to be looking in the wrong direction. Look at Hard here is looking, directly to the right. He should be looking, again, into the panel. If anything, he's looking away from the action. And this is me trying to figure it out in the blueprint. And like the head's too big, way too big. And there's that expression's awful. How about no? How about no? How about Well, that's a little better. It's still too big though. And this isn't the pose I want. No, that looks a little better. But yeah, this isn't the head pose I want. I didn't take the time to figure out what... Oh, look how skinny that arm looks. Oh, so this is like in bodybuilding when they dehydrate before the main event, right? You lost all that water mass. So they can show off the veins. It makes perfect sense, really, when you think about it. Yeah, and I really wanted to get him twisting the hips in here, twisting the torso. It doesn't really work the way I've set it up. Yeah, no, that's no good at all. Again, that's not really a pose I've tried drawing before, so this is, again, me figuring it out on the fly. Which was just not advised. Yeah, skinny. Like there's some decent torque to it, but nah, that's no good. And we get Popo here. And I really wanted Popo to have that giant gun from the previous page. The problem is, you have to do it one of two ways. Either Popo has his back to you, and you can see his entire back at least, or Popo is running with the giant gun in front of him and you can't see Popo. Which is, a kind of a funny sight gag. But what I end up doing, actually, is just doing away with the big gun altogether and giving him dual pistols. So we either get the silliness of Popo trying to run with this giant friggin' like barrel, basically, or the artist forgot what guns Popo was holding from page to page. And then so and if you go with the second one, you also get a cool shot of Popo. It's like, well, I guess I got to go with that one, don't I? We're trying to fiddle with it. I'm sure there's a good drawing in here somewhere. Like it's a fine drawing, I suppose. I don't that hawk stab isn't good enough. But like Popo's fine, although obscured. Hard looks great. I'm still fooling myself this is gonna work. Could have started over at this point. I mean, it would just mean redrawing this bottom bit and like just redrawing the blue sketch. It wouldn't be that hard. No, just keep getting in deeper. Keep investing some time in that page. That's okay. I'm going to keep this part, the bottom panel, because this ends up looking all right. Oh, yes, and I need my reference to figure out how the hell to draw these things, the aliens. Or at least get an idea. This is the first time we're drawing them. We'll see how much they look like that the second time I'm drawing them. They may change a little bit. We don't know. Perhaps they adapt in their time on Earth here. That seems likely, right? Yeah, work that pencil. Come on. That's not complete penciling. Better. All right. Work some shadows. You don't want to figure out the shadows with the pen. I mean, I probably do, but again, it's not a bad idea. Yes, rule the panel borders. Thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, he's going to get gutted here. This is PG-13 violence. So a little bit bloody. Yeah. That head's no good. And that torso's not really that good either. We need to amp this shit up. So let's just hyperinflate Hockstab here. I don't know that this really improves things. I don't know. It's fun. I will say that. No, that head's way too big. Yeah, draw it smaller. That's a little better. And he's looking even less the right way now. So now nobody is looking the right way. Nobody's even pretending to look the right way. And I do like Hockstab's pose here. So, yeah, and I keep drawing his hair floofier and floofier. So what we've got is Hockstab realizing that they're about to get jumped. Everybody leaping into action and him turning away from the battle. So he can plant himself and like strike a... You know, like for some reason I feel like that's a Stallone pose of some kind, and just go, blood force, so looking away from the fight, which again I thought was pretty funny, but it's not funny enough to, yeah, not quite funny enough, and the drawing's not quite good enough. But haven't realized it yet, so I think at this point I'm not really thinking about the end result of this page. This is just, this drawing ended up looking how I imagined the solution would look without really taking into context what the objective of the page is. So now there's nothing left to do but ink it. And that doesn't really look like Hockstab. Like that style is it's too cartoony. Not that Hockstab is completely consistent from panel to panel, but yeah, this isn't really what I've established up till here. And we do want to try and keep something consistent, I think. This is a fun drawing, though. Yeah, all those brush lines. That's just so satisfying. I'm starting to try and figure out where those little rib muscles go, too. I tend to remember those after I've inked a torso. Just like, isn't there something that should be up there? Like towards the armpit? I forgot again, didn't I? And yeah, taking some care with these arm shinies that I'm not going to use. Shinies or shadows. I'm not even sure what kind of texture that's supposed to be. Is that leather? Is it brass? I don't really know. I'd have to take a look at the original concept drawing of him, I think. I think it's metal. It could very well be metal. And those armbands look pretty good, actually. Ah, well. Yeah, good ink the whole guy. Excuse me. Sorry about that. That looked like Microsoft Paint autofill shit. Yeah, seatbelt sash. Man, this super fast shit is it's a bit crazy. You don't even see the pen move. Just blinds to happen. Yeah, let's make up some stuff to put on the belt. Why not? I suppose we could come up with an actual design for the belt, but where's the fun in that? Excuse me again. Yeah, and looks pretty good. But because I'm doing this all in one stint, I'm not backing off and realizing that I can't use this. It doesn't work. I'm just having fun inking Hawkstab. That's the problem with inking Hawkstab. It's easy to get lost inking Hawkstab. Mm-hmm. Yeah, looks all right. And these laser blasts, I don't know where they're coming from. I'm just kind of guessing. Again, I've got an idea in my head, but I didn't plan it out beforehand, so that's not going to work. He just looks like he's headbanging. I dig it. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, we're going to fill some space. I like this idea of just like a bunch of plasma blasts. Just the battle, the action starts immediately. You know. Oh, I did ink the blades. Man, I usually wait till the end of the. I'm pretty much done the drawing before I start inking the blades. And I was pretty sold on this drawing here. Right? Ah, well. And now I think I'm starting to realize it, but it's like, shit, I can't actually. I'm not actually going to start it over, though, right? Because, like, that looks pretty good. And I decided his hips weren't in the right position. Because if he's not twisting, because here, he's like twisted right around. Actually, more than he probably should be able to, but that's okay. Yeah, if you don't twist his hips, it looks like he could just be poking. Just, back off. You twist the hips, he's obviously slashing or punching or something like that. So I'm glad I realized that before I got to the inking stage. And we're setting this up to be a bit of an easy panel. We're gonna do a blacked in clerg. But I think it's okay in this case. It's fairly warranted. Plus, like raw black. That shit looks so good. You'll have to excuse me. I'm just going to watch all this black spread. I never really understood ASMR, but I do get those things where it's like, oh, this is so satisfying, you know. And this is kind of like that for me. Yeah, blocking all those head fins. Very good. See, that looks all right. And now we go to work on hawk stab, so this is just going to be a good day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one went really quickly actually, up to this point, which is good because, you know, a lot of it was wasted time. That's okay. I probably learned something on that other page. That hard looked good, right? There you go. I'm sure there's something out of that I can use. And yeah, you see what I mean about Hawkstab's head? It's not quite the right proportions. It's a little too big. It's good enough that I can use it, and I will. But that's something I want to work on, is giving people the tiny head. It's there for a reason. It makes people look like their bodies are just fucking gigantic. Yeah, we're going to need more than that. That's a start, but we're going to need quite a bit more than that. He's got like a backpack clip on his belt there. Yeah. I'm sure I did that on purpose. I just don't remember doing it now. Yeah, so trying to get those rib muscles in there. Those look all right. I don't know what that is. Those muscles seem to be conflicting a little bit. But that's all right. Did you fill up that part of the page? Then you did your job. Yeah, not too shabby. Yeah, I wish I had more to say about this, but it's all stuff I'm barely using this part. Well, no, this part I guess gets used. No, the other part seems to be the more interesting part, where it's like, yeah, no, this is all screw up here. These leg muscles got interestingly squashed. Again, I don't really hate it. It's just I look at it and go, that's not right, but okay. And that might be what I should be aiming for. I don't know. I mean, there's supposed to be an element of, I want an element of image parody in here. So Why not just, yeah, squash those muscles, stretch them out, do something. Do whatever you want. And we're going to ink hard now, even though we know we're not using this page. Pretty sure. It's like, no, it's good, is what it is. I can use all this. Yeah. And just keep... Yeah, that's my ink. You know, like, I need that for actual pages. Come on. Like, ease up. Well, I guess I decided to go back to this. Yeah, I don't think I've inked anything more up there. Okay, sure. Yeah, this is where we're going to start putting some blood on there. Need more rips, need more debris. And... there we go. There you go. I'm going to try and get some splatter on there. So I've never actually done the thing where you use a paintbrush for splatter. So, like, you see at the beginning there, I'm, like, shaking it. Like, come on, go. Like, no, you got to actually flick the brush. Like, oh, okay, all right. Well, now I know for next time. And we're going to do all sorts of speed lines here. And try to make sure those things look appropriately random with the thicknesses. That looks all right, but we'll get some more in because that's just not enough. Yeah, it's fun stuff. And again, this is somebody's visual ASMR, I'm sure. Thank you. Clean that up a little bit. Fix it after. All right, so now we're going to actually map this shit out. Okay, so this is, yeah, just that upper part of the panel. A little difficult to see. Sorry about the light. So I've worked out the angle of the head. So I'll get that correct now. I've mostly worked out what I want his body to be doing. And standing is not really it. He needs to be lunging. Standing is a bit too... Shit, what's the word? I do this all the time where I just forget like a normal-ass word. Static. That's kind of normal, but you know. All right. No lights? No? Okay, sure, go for it. Yeah, I'm trying a couple of things with this, seeing what works. And so we're going for a bit more of a worm's eye view, which is something I lose track of over the course of drawing this. Well, that's better anyway. You still don't have the light on, do you? Okay, so we've kind of figured out this head pose. I did a bunch of iterations in a sketchbook. And we're going to have him, yeah, go lunging away. Yeah, nice and dynamic. And that left eye is a bit too short, or maybe just fold it up too high. Hard to say. Yeah, and I wanted to get I want to have some part of Hawkstab kind of cross over the spine a little, but didn't really end up happening. Because it's better that he has his arms splayed behind him. Now here we get a much better. Yeah, do we want Popo's arms in front of him here? Yeah, I'm trying to get that big gun in still. Okay, that's what that was. So if I make the gun smaller, and I quickly just no, that's not going to work at all. Let's just give him completely different guns. He left that one on the ground. Pulled another couple guns so that he could strike a better pose. That seems like a Popo thing to do. This pose of hard is it's a little unfortunate. It's fine. It's not as good as the other one. At least he's looking the right way though. But it's not the best thing. That shot at Popo is pretty good though. And again, Hawkstab looks great. Everyone's looking the right way. That it more than makes up for it. Oh yeah, get his. I finally remembered to put the tails on his headband in there. We're trying to get a little bit more stylish with the poses and everything. I'm gonna keep trying to do that. Every once in a while, I catch myself being a bit too conservative and just like, oh no, that's I don't know. Not making the drawing fun, just trying to get to the next part of the get to the next page. This page sucks. Like, nah, it wouldn't suck if you made it fun though. Like if a dude's just standing there and you don't like that, make him not standing there. Make him put him in a goofy pose. Why not? These are things I've got to keep reminding myself because I get stuck in that. Just no, go ahead. Just yeah, this is what you imagined. Draw that, then move on. It'll be fine. So you say that with having a couple of compromises on here, but some very nice results as well. And I'm looking at the pencils for page 19 right next to this, and I didn't really have any problems with this thing. That whole thing looks kind of dope. We're putting off Hawkstab a little bit. Popo and Hard are kind of easy. I don't know about that Hawkstab. I think I'm at this point I'm kind of forgetting that Hawkstab should be in Worm's Eye view, ish, at least a little bit. But it's okay. The pose is dynamic. He's facing the right way. Keep coming back to that. The arms are proportioned fairly well. Everything's proportioned fairly well on him. And even his head is cocked the right way. Just yeah. No, it's all good. It's still wanting to twist those heads, but no, you can't really tell. Oh, what if we really got a scream in there? That looks all right. That does look all right. And that's way too much hair, right? That's not how much hair I went with, is it? Oh, that is too. I think. No, I think I trimmed it back a little bit. I decided, what? Hawkstab's hair is getting out of line. Just because you don't want to give him the perm doesn't mean, you just... He's still a military man. And that arm there, yeah, that's not the right angle for those blades. Okay, so now we're going to fake in. Well, not fake in. We're going to start the blue line for page 19. There's the big shot of shock block we're working on here. This was another pose I worked out ahead of time. I think the end result will be fine, although this looks a little weird, but it's not bad. And we're going to actually sort out where the shit the laser blasts are coming from. All right, good enough. I've trimmed his hair. Looks better. So how can we do this? No, I think we need to have his fist pointing the other direction, which looks kind of weird. Maybe a little lame, but those blades look a lot better. They do. Yeah, good enough. All right. Start in on it. See, that's a good hawk stab head. Mm-hmm. Yep, doesn't look like you had to cut weight. The right leg looks good. The left leg's a little short, but that's fine. It's like it's a little in between muscles. Again, they almost make sense. And some more glorious black. You know what I should have done here? I should have just shaded this arm and then whited out some veins. Because this looks a little weak. Or, it just, I feel like it could have been a bit stronger. It's okay. Do you like the shading on that leg? That turned out okay. Go on, finish that belt and you can ink some abs. Won't that be great? Yeah. Oh, you're just gonna completely snub the abs? Come on, man. That's like the most fun part. Just draw shapes. Draw some fun lines in there. Yeah, I don't know about that. It's the kind of thing I should probably get a template for. Yeah. It's a little better. Okay. And nobody's looking at that stupid thing. I think I need to throw some heavier shadows on this kind of thing next time. This looks all right, and if the book ever gets colored, that'll be a pretty nice shot actually. Yeah, much better, much more appropriate. Much more belongs in an Image comic, I suppose. Or maybe just a Marvel comic, or just some, that's a good pose. Then there we got Popo's coat/cape. And I'm pretty sure by now I've forgotten all about the tail on his headband. I did that a couple of times with this. It's like, what is that line? I don't know what you're here for. Going over the hawk stab lines, as is tradition. Yeah, get in there. The only problem with this is that the pose is it doesn't really allow much for shadow. Not if you want to see what's going on. So it's, I don't know. Popo feels kind of exposed here. I don't know. It's hard to be the moody loner in the shadows when you're completely front lit. Those lower legs are fun. They're just the big ball of the calf and then teeny little ankles. I think I can see myself getting a little ridiculous with that. Just kind of getting out of hand and having to reel it back in. It's going to be fun drawing this book. And I'm like putting off the guns here because, oh no, I might have to rule something. It's like, come on, man. You're not ruling shit on those. That right arm's pretty goddamn beefy. That's alright, though. If there's one thing you're allowed to fuck up, it's foreshortening. And in fact, that's kind of encouraged. Again, sincerity is not really the objective here. First objective is, can we make it cool, I suppose. Second objective is, if we can't do that, can we make it funny? And if we can do both at the same time, then we're doing all right. Yeah, those folds don't really look like much of anything. Still doesn't look terrible, though. Yeah. Yeah, just fill in some stuff. Yeah, there you go. That's a gun, right? You could totally do that on the other side, too, if you wanted. Yeah, fill in some of that coat there. Maybe a bit more. Yeah, just watch those lines fill up. That's awesome. All right. Yeah, so, you don't need to rule this shit. You can just draw it. Usually if it's remotely techie, I gotta use a ruler because I can't pull off that Jim Lee / Mark Silvestri thing where they just do panels inset with panels inset with panels and little circuit boards everywhere, and it looks like something. I can't do that. Again, that's one of those things I have to have a reference right next to me if I want to get anywhere close. And every once in a while, I try to fake it. It's like, here we go. Draw the shape, rectangles. Here's a rhombus. And just like, no, none of that really works. But then at least you filled up the white. I guess that's something. Yeah, the Popo pose is pretty dope. Yeah, I'd completely forgotten about that. The tail on the headband. And we need that for issue 3? There's a plot development that hinges on that. Yeah, those abs aren't quite as, I don't know. They're not quite as good as the ones on the previous try. We're gonna fill it. I think we can mostly save them. See, that's a shame when you like, you get your first draft and it's like, man, that's a pretty good picture. There's some good stuff in that picture. What? I can't use any of it? Yeah, I really couldn't have ported hard in here. I don't think. Again, he's looking the wrong way. Doesn't work. Oh well. Mm-hmm. The Pope Authority. It's important. Got to keep it in there. There we go. There's a. Yeah. It does actually make it look, a bit more dynamic. It's kind of thing you almost hesitate to admit. So we're going to shade all this in. Is this going to look all right? I don't have the finished product in hand, really. Well, the leg ended up looking okay, even though that was a bit of a mess. That there. Yeah, pretty good. Get his metal undies. Yeah, those are just formula now. And color that in, because that's, again, that's kind of a lumpy mess. Looking a bit Kelly Jones over there. I mean, if I could draw like Kelly Jones, that'd be kind of dope, but. Okay. Yeah, okay. It's alright. And we're getting at least some better shoulders. The shoulders in the previous version weren't that great. And I'm still not making those neck stretchies intricate enough. I'm getting a little better, but I don't know how they work all the stretchies in there. Like even Liefeld can do the neck stretchies okay. There's that weird Shadowhawk thing when they were doing the Image X month. And yeah, Liefeld got Shadowhawk, and he's doing his weird Frank Miller style. Everybody remembers Jim Lee's weird attempt at Frank Miller style with Deathblow. I did not remember this at all. This was pointed out. And yeah, but he's got neck stretchies for days, man. These could be planned out a little better, but yeah, it looks all right. And again, if it had been facing the other way, like facing backwards, that wouldn't have looked all right at all. Oh yeah, and we lost a little bit of time here. Sorry about that. So I guess I picked most of it, really. Well, you saw the guys getting. Now we were doing backgrounds, and yeah, I'm just kind of making up where the trees go, to be honest. But yeah, no, there was like 15 minutes where I was doing this shit. And then after that, I'm like, okay, time to take a look at the footage. And I look, and it's myself because I forgot to switch the camera back. So I just kind of filmed myself sitting at a table for 15 minutes. And I figured we better beef up our foresty backgrounds a little bit. We're getting a little too slack in the previous one. If we want a double page spread to look good, you need a bit of detail in there at least. That doesn't look too bad. All right. So that should do it. Shit. So I'm just looking at the finished product here now, and there we go. I'll put up a shot here. So the two together, I think they look pretty good. And then when you combine that with the next page, it should be a pretty good spread. Yeah, it's fun. We're finally getting into action. For all my talk about crazy 90s action and shit, the first like 15 pages of this thing is there's a lot of people walking around talking. No, it's like it's page 18 when it starts to get really good. I mean, I do what I can to throw in like a splash page here and a gratuitous shot of Maxtremus here. And there's that, again, a double page spread on page 4 and 5 that you don't know about because, I didn't film that. It's pretty good page spread, though. You know what you should do? If you want to see that... Oh, shit, I'm missing my opportunity. If you wanted to see that, you could go to my Patreon and you could subscribe because you know what I do? I post all of my art there. All of the finished pages, all of my process stuff, the sketchbooks for those heads I was talking about, all that shit. There's not a ton yet, but I'm filling it up pretty rapidly. I also put all the videos in here before I put them on YouTube. And since I've done the selling shit, I guess I'm out of here. Like this video, subscribe, hit the notifications, follow me on Twitter. Bye!